Okay, first of all, awful week, went very well. I think we accomplished all of our goals. More than anything, I think just to get physically and mentally refreshed. I got a chance to work on ourselves and then get a head start in Texas A&M, which definitely is much needed, a good team. Really what stands out to me about Texas A&M, they're number 2 in time of possession in the country. They hold on to the ball, their defense gets off the field. When you look at their defense, they're very good against the run. I think they're number 5 in the country in rush defense. They're very good on third down, which has definitely helped them as far as time of possession is concerned. Offensively, they have a dual threat quarterback in Kellen Mond. He's much improved from last year. You can tell he's comfortable. They can run the ball. They've got some weapons at receiver, and they have the top punter in the country. They're leading the country in net punting. That's helping the field positions and everything that goes with it. A couple updates just for us about us. Booby Whitlow did not practice last week. We'll see where he's at this week. I'd say right now he's day-to-day. Jack Driscoll did practice on a limited basis last week, and we'll see where he goes also, and I would say he's day-to-day with that. But overall, like I said, it was a good week for us. I think we're in a good position to finish strong and playing a good Texas A&M team at 11 a.m. at home. Question?
What's your opinion? Is he ever practicing?
Yes, yeah, he's back. He's back practicing. He'll play.
What did you feel like you were able to accomplish during that off week?
Yeah, probably more than anything is evaluating us and getting a chance to work on us and clean some things up really in all 3 phases that can help us the last 4 weeks. And then, of course, anytime you get a extra couple days on your opponent, that really helps, and then got a chance to watch them, play on Saturday, and so it's good to get a head start in that too.
Yes, if Booby can't go, who would be your first guy? I mean, who's the first guy?
Well, I mean, of course, Cam Martin got a little banged up, last time, but it's going to be by committee. I mean, we feel like right now that all of our guys can, go in there and do a good job, and then we'll go with the hot hand.
Would Asa be in that mix?
Yes, yeah, Asa will be in that mix.
What were you able to learn from Texas A&M watching them this weekend?
Well, like I said, they're very good against the run. And they mix things up. Offensively, like I said, they got a dual threat quarterback that you have to account for his feet, and then he can throw it too with some big talented receivers. So, and then I think their special teams is solid. Like I said, their punter really stands out to me. I mean, he can really change the game as far as field position goes.
You expected Booby to try to practice today?
I don't know. Well, we're hoping, but like I said, he didn't practice at all last week, and he's been banged up some up this point. He's been a pretty quick healer coming back, so we'll just see where that's at.
Seems like more and more your top playmakers are freshmen. First of all, how hard is it to take that big a role when you're a freshman? And
Yeah. Well, I think, you start out, you got your freshmen, and they're talented. And there's a period of time that they get their feet wet out there, and you get to evaluate them and see what they can do. And then there's a point that you see the guys that are comfortable making plays and can execute and everything that goes with it. And we're just at a point now where I think we got a good idea of our strengths and the guys that need to be on the field, and are they confident enough to make plays and all that. And right now we have a bunch of freshmen that really are coming on, which I think is a really good thing, not just for the last 4 games, but for the future.
How important is Booby become for this offense over the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he's really came on with a physical presence. He's a big back, and of course, I think our last game, he broke a lot of tackles, and that's really the thing that stood out to me. And like I say, he's been banged up, but he continues to come back. Now we'll just have to see, what happens this week, but he's really run with a purpose, and that's really helped us.
What's going to be the trick for unlocking more potential out of Jarrett in these last 4 games?
Yeah, really, it sounds simple, but it's about execution. We just got to execute better around him. He needs to execute better, and that's really our plan. And it was good for us to kind of sit back and look and evaluate the whole, first 8 games, and try to build around our strengths and some things that we can be to do to be successful. And I really feel like that'll help us with Well, their gap sound, they do a very good job up front of holding points. You know, there's not a whole lot of double teams that get up to the backers, and I think both their backers are very active, and they're fast flow type guys, and on the back end, you know, they try to keep everything in front of them, and they got some speed at the corners.
Just mentioned Jamel getting back, but how important off week was it for Nick, Marlon, Deshaun, Darryl? You got a bunch of guys that run 7 all week.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Not just them, but I think there was quite a few guys that were banged up that we were able to take some off of and get some of the younger guys more reps and more experience last week. So it was twofold as far as that's concerned. But we needed that off week just for the health.
How much were you guys able to do some self-scouting this weekend? And how much did that help you?
Yeah, it wasn't just this weekend, really. It was probably more of earlier in the previous week. That was the first thing that we did. You know, got a chance to watch, you know, every game, every play, cut-ups, everything that goes with that. And we spent the first 2 days of our off week doing that. And that's really where it started. And then we just tried to concentrate on us that first practice and correct the things we needed to correct. And then got more into A&M the last 2 days that we practiced, you know, that Wednesday and Thursday, but we still did a lot of just fundamental work as far as that we were concerned, especially the young guys. Talking about the young guys, that was really good for them, just to clean up some things and try to be a little more precise in some areas, offensively and defensively. And then, of course, we had a practice Sunday, and it was more game plan oriented, getting into game week, and obviously, you know, Tuesday's a big practice for us today.
How about something from the last telecast, guys, that said you guys are throwing more screens than any team in the country, which you didn't used to throw a lot of screens.
Well, I think it's, you know, we got some playmakers on the outside that can do some things on the outside, and you know, so you just try, each team's a little bit different, and just try to do some things to get the ball in space to some guys that can do it.
But you like taking downfield shots, it's always been your thing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like you're not doing much of that at all anymore.
We're taking some, we're not hitting them all, but, you know, and I think this, you know, with that being said, there's a lot of things that we were able to take from our, looking at ourselves and what we need to do moving forward.
How much can this team look back, especially the veterans, look back to the last season, what you guys did in November, and try to use that experience to kind of replicate?
Yeah, anytime you get experience in anything, it helps. There's no doubt, but like I said, I think more than anything, you know, just getting ready for A&M and coming off an off week and everything that goes with that.
How much do you stress to your players that, how good you'll have to play to have a chance in these last 3 SEC games, top 25?
Yeah, you know, really, I think our guys understand that. I mean, I think they understand that, you know, the teams we're playing and everything that goes with it.
What has made Seth Williams able to be such a big play guy, so many experience?
Yeah, I think it's been, first of all, he has the ability. I mean, he has a very good skill set, and it's just been a process of him becoming more comfortable. And the more that you're out there and you got your number called and you're successful, the more success you have. And, you know, like I said, those guys are to a point now they shouldn't be thinking or playing like freshmen. They played a lot of ball, and I think Seth's one of those guys that I think he could even take that next step, you know, this final part of the season.
Considering how well Texas A&M defends the run, how concerning is that to you, considering the rank struggles you guys have had?
Yeah, of course, you know, last week, you know, we ran the ball better and we ran it really all year. And you've got to be balanced. I don't care, you know, who you're playing. You've got to be able to run it and pass it. So we need to be successful, but there's no doubt. I mean, they're very good. Like I was talking about the run fits, and their defensive line really gets off the football and tries to play in your backfield. So, you know, we're going to have to do a good job of creating run yards.
Does your offensive line just beat out your guys that were playing, you know, just linked up and stuff, and did the bye week help at all? And do you
Yeah.
expect them
And
to-
there has been a little bit of that, you know, through the course of up to this point in the season, with some guys a little beat up and all that. But last week, it really helped, and that'll help us these last 4 regular season games.
With Boobie, I mean, he seems like he's the only guy, running back right now that can hit that 1,000-yard mark. How important is that 1,000
10, and I think if he stays healthy, I think you'll have a good shot at that.
Talk about your decision to go up to be on a couple of weekends.
Yeah, I'd had that planned for way back, and of course, I was still able to recruit all day Friday and Friday night, and just made a quick trip up there, and anytime you can do that, that's definitely good for recruiting.
Nice to be back with Houston Nut, spend some time with him.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's
You guys
good.
were good.
Yeah, we did.
Were you disappointed about, you didn't get to say much though, really? I mean, on TV, you talk about Trevor Lawrence, that's about it.
I don't know, we did a pregame show, and it was
Oh, okay.
quite a bit, so.
Yeah.
I guess you didn't watch pregame show.
Yeah.
Yeah.